Hi, it's Brett-Warburton again, coming to you from Guildford. Just to prove that I do things in my kitchen as well, this is a bit of an experiment. I'm going to actually try and make some pancakes live for this production while talking to you. Let's see if it works. This is a sound test as much as anything else. Right, I hope this is going to work. All of this, of course, has to be live, and we're going to be checking to see how this is going to work from the point of view of sound carrying. Let's see how far we get. Right. Nothing disastrous. You'll of course notice two issues. One is facing the camera while I'm cooking, always difficult, and the other is going to be the sound reproduction over here, or even opening the fridge and going inside that. It's a real minefield. However, this is what we've got, and we better move on. You believe you should put a little pinch of salt, I'll just do a little bit. I always think this comes out a little bit too thick, so I might add a little bit more milk just to give it a slightly runnier consistency. For me, the batter needs to be a little bit thinner. I know I've written down in my recipe that it should be 135 by 4 ounces of milk, but I think it just needs a little bit more, not much more, just to soften it up a bit. There we go. And of course, the difficulty now is whether I'm able to coherently talk about something else as well, which is, and talk to the camera. See, what we really want to be doing is talking about the political aspects that are going on at the moment. So while I'm cooking, I should be able to do this and talk to you about, say, ownership and how that is now affecting what's going on in the community. What we're seeing is a different type of approach to how we've operated as pure capitalists, as it were. We're now seeing that we've got to occasionally come together and think about life in a different way, where we're coming and looking at our own prosperity as a form of collective or collaborative working, rather than purely competitive working, in which we go out as capitalists and build a world around ourselves with a wall around ourselves. Now we've actually realised, under certain circumstances, such as the coronavirus situation travelling around the world, we've got to work together so that we can all get through it together, so or as many people as possible can get through it together. Not everybody clearly is going to be able to walk away unscathed, but by working collaboratively we can reduce the damage in the short term and improve our prospects in the long term. Right. How this current situation is going to affect us in the long and short term. I mean, what we're seeing, the immediate requirement, governments have battened down. They've recognised in order to keep everybody apart, to engage with them in this controlled manner, there's got to be some form of state intervention to cover the basic costs of individuals, that people can't just be controlled and or asked to do things and controlled that way. The communal aspect of government has had to step in and say, we will provide for you, you've got to stay home, you can't go out and work. This is an interesting aspect of controlling populations. By taking control over their day-to-day living, you then have control over the individual. It's necessary in the short term. Interesting to see how this is going to pan out in the long term. We've got a situation where we've given away a lot of our freedoms and checks and balances to the state in order to deal with a crisis, but how are we going to deal with this in the future when the crisis ends? How many of those checks and balances are going to come back to us, and how easy is it going to be to wrestle some of the new powers and methods of working from a government once they've got used to having those powers and tools in their hand. Right, that looks like it's kind of ready. Let's just put a little bit of oil down there. Swizzle that around. And make a couple of pancakes. Okay. First one done. The reason why I've decided to make these pancakes, I've got some flour here, but most importantly I had a spare egg that is coming to the end of its life, and I had some milk that needed to be used up, so I'm trying to find ways of using all of this stuff up as rapidly as I can so we don't end up with wastage. I think this is going to be a very important thing as part of the dealing with this crisis, is to utilise what food we've got in the best way we possibly can. I mean, if this worst comes to the worst, I can always freeze these, even if I don't want to eat them today. There'll be a way of using this food effectively in the future. So it's worth spending a bit of time, got a bit of time on our hands, find ways of saving the food that you've got already so that we don't end up having to make unnecessary journeys to the supermarket, and more importantly, don't put an extra load on what resources are available. Interesting aspects that have been highlighted by this crisis, that we need to start thinking about how we use our resources in a totally different way. We've got to look at preserving as much as possible what we've got so that we don't create an additional load, taking food or other resources away from people that absolutely need them. If we're sorted out, if we've got a little bit of food in here, we can make some nice pancakes, put them aside. I won't eat all of those straight away. We've now preserved stuff that would have gone off otherwise. TLC there. It looks like it's about to go. There we go, that's the end of that. Put that aside. That's our little pile of 5 little pancakes. 1 egg, 4 ounces of milk, 4 ounces of flour, a little bit of sugar, some baking powder, and you're away. I'm Mark Brett-Warburton, cooking for you in Guildford. If you want to write in, the email address is yourviews@brett-warburton.com. See you soon. Bye.